Good evening. Yes, so we are live yet another time. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to Master Your Life. I am Winroy Williams, and today we will be looking at 3 powerful ways how you can train your mind. I believe what I am about to share will be of benefit to you and your friends and your colleagues. So I encourage you as usual to share this video where you can. I'm also inviting you as we go along. If it is that you want to leave a comment, I'd be happy to see you leave a comment. So as usual, I love to start with a story. Yes, I love stories, and you all know that by now that I love to tell stories, right? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely love to tell stories. So here's a story that I want to share with you today. So there was this professor who entered his classroom and he asked his students to prepare for a surprise test. Now, the students all waited anxiously at their desk for this exam to begin. The professor handed out the exams with the text facing down as usual. Now, once he handed them all out, he asked the students to turn over the papers. Now, to everyone's surprise, there were no questions. Not one. There was just one black dot in the center of the paper. The professor, seeing the expression on everyone's faces, told them the following: I want you to write about what you see there. The students, somewhat confused, got started on this inexplicable task. Now, at the end of the class, the professor took all the papers and started reading each one of them out loud in front of all the students. All the students defined the black dot, trying to explain its position in the center of the sheet. By the way, let me show you what that black dot looks like. This is the sheet. You see the black dot? Yes. So, the students proceeded to explain the position in the center of the sheet of that black dot. And after all has been read by the professor, the classroom went silent, and then the professor started to explain. I'm not going to grade you on this, I just wanted to give you something to think about. No one wrote about the white part of the paper. Everyone focused on the black dot. And it is the same thing that happens in our lives. We insist on focusing only on the black dot. And the black dot represents the health issues that we have that bother us, the lack of money, the complicated relationships, etc. The dark spots are very small in comparison to everything else that we have in our lives. But they are the ones that really pollute our minds. You should take your eyes away from the black dots and enjoy every one of your blessings, each moment that life gives you. Be happy and live a life filled with love. For today's topic, 3 powerful ways how to train your mind. This is really how we are going to focus on the white part of our life rather than the dark part of our life. So I want to share with you a leading thought. I want you to keep this thought at the top of your mind. Conditions, whatever conditions you have in your life, conditions start to change when you change your thinking. Conditions start to change when you change your thinking. So, as far as I know, the mind is still the most powerful tool available to man. When soldiers go into war, soldiers go into battle, they know something. And they know that if they are not prepared, they could die in battle. And that is the reason why they spend so much time training day and night, because they're preparing for battle. And it should be the same for us. We must continuously train our minds, keep it sharp, and use it to our benefit. The fact is, we are really in charge of our minds. Yes, similar to how we have a radio. And that radio has a knob. And that knob is to tune into whatever frequency you want. It's the same way we can use our mind to tune into the thoughts that we want. And the reason why that's important is because when you tune into the frequency of the highest clarity, it is in your best interest and it is serving your growth at the highest level. Because this frequency is able to be more compatible with the answers that you might be asking in your life, that you might be seeking in your life. The solutions that you're seeking, the insights that you're seeking, the inspiration that you're seeking, or the enthusiasm that you need to go along with just living. So it's kind of way of like moving from limited mind thinking into genius mind thinking. That's kind of my way to do it. And that's why you must train your mind. Because if you think about it, if you have a goal or if you have a dream in mind, you can't achieve that goal or dream from a mind that doesn't believe you can achieve it. So you have to believe you can in order to achieve it. And that's about changing how you think. So the truth is, we will always have negative thoughts. We will always have positive thoughts. But what our objective should be is to have positive emotions and thoughts dominating the negative ones. I have negative thoughts. Everybody have negative thoughts. But your goal in training your mind is really to make the positive thoughts dominate the negative ones. Okay? So it's really very important that we do this, and we have to continuously train our minds over time so that we don't get overwhelmed by the circumstances that will come our way in life. It's not me, but they will come our way in life. So I want to share with you 3 powerful ways that you can train your mind. The 3 ways are, and I'll tell you them in order. So the first one, I mentioned that it's a powerful way, right? So the first one is the power of decision. The second is the power of question. And the third is the power of alignment. So let's look at the power of decision. What does that look like? Now, in his book, The Power of Decision, Raymond Charles Barker wrote, there is only one success process. Know what you want, decide it shall happen, and act upon that decision. Now, as an example, if I did not act upon turning up for this live session, it could never have happened. And this is where many times many people fail, because we have a thought, we want to execute something, we believe we have made a decision, but you haven't really made the decision until you have done what you said you would have done. So many people fail because of indecision and inaction. So only someone who has acted upon a decision, on his dream, will bring forth something new and valuable. Otherwise, you'll just remain where you are in thought. Think about your own life and decide for a moment, even if it's just now, what it is that you would really love to manifest. I don't know what that looks like for you. I know what it looks like for me. But think about it. What would you love? The truth is, no one can decide that for you. So, you see, decisiveness is the hallmark of all successful people. So people are successful, they are decisive. They take decision. In fact, the word decide actually means to cut away from. Yes? Decide, to cut away from. It's kind of similar. You know, I like to think in imagery. We all probably do. But it's kind of similar to how sculptors or wood carvers would cut away everything that is not what they are intending for. So think about a carver. All right, a sculptor. They got this raw material. It could be a piece of stone, or in the case of the carver, it could be a piece of wood. And in that piece of wood, they see what they want. And if you think about it in Jamaican terms, you know, we have the craft market. And when you go into the craft market, you see birds, you see stuff that they made out of that wood. So we have to kind of imagine like sculptors and carvers to decide to cut away what we don't want, because we know what we want. Yes? So we have to be carvers in our own lives. To cut away the things that not serving us, to cut away those things that don't help us. And the fact is, we all need to do that. It's like you're cutting up a chicken. I mean, no one consumes all of the chicken. not at all. You know, you cut a piece away. Even if you're cutting up plants, nobody consumes all of the plant. You cut away what you want. So you have to decide on what it is that you really want out of your life and act on it. Because remember, if you don't take action, that's indecision. So you must be willing to cut away anything that is not in the interest of your life, that is not in the interest of your growth, whatever that looks like. Now, interestingly, that could be people. We have to be very honest with ourselves. Sometimes you have some people who just come into your life for a time, for a season, and them serve them purpose. And, you know, you move on, and then move on, and that's okay. That's just life. You know, we have seasons. So we have 1 year, but within 1 year, we have bands of time, which we call seasons. And perhaps it's the same way. You know, summer decides that it's not autumn. Autumn decides it's not spring, and spring decides it's not winter. So we too, we have to cut away and decide who we are and who we are not. We might have to cut away from some groups. So you join a group, but the group is not serving the interest of your growth as you perceive why you joined the group. So you cut it away. Cut away using certain words, like certain negative words. You know, on a previous call, I might have mentioned that there are some people who use so many negative words that they become those words. Like, you know, I gave the example of people looking to the sky and saying, well, you know, I hope the rain don't fall. No, nothing is really negative about the rain, but the truth is, it's not rain they want. They want sunshine. So you have to be careful when you use those words. Cut away those words in that moment, knowing that what you really want is what you want. And sometimes you have to just even cut away your use of the smartphone. The smartphone is a powerful tool. Yeah? The mind is even more powerful though. And I want to tell you that the mind controls the smartphone. It's not the other way around. But there are truthfully many people who actually have this smartphone and make it control their mind. Yeah. So we're living in a world where we have a lot of addicted people because they decide upon doing something, but then there is something else that takes them time. And they can't really decide what they really want to do. So them end up using the smartphone in a time when they thought they decided that they wanted to study, as an example. So you have to learn to cut away things, whether it's going to be TV for a time, radio for a time, internet for a time, or books for a time. So my message really to you is that you should not feel bad about your decision when you cut away something, whether it is going to be people, technology, or whatever it is. Because when you cut away something, what you're saying to yourself is that it is very important to fill that void that you're creating with what it is that you really want to do. So my question to you then would be, what is it that you really want? Think about it. And what do you need to cut away? And at the probably highest level, do you want to fill your mind or your time or your attention with this or with that? You decide. Yeah? So that for me would be the power of decision. When you decide, it's final. Because what you have decided on, you took action, and that's it. So the second powerful way to train your mind is really through the power of question. Yeah, the power of question. It is said that the quality of our lives is really determined by the quality of the questions we ask. Now, the truth is, there are many people who don't ask quality questions, or what I call high calibrated questions, because them can't bother to think. Now remember now, your mind is like a muscle. Yeah, I don't really have much muscle still, as I can see. I don't really like the weights thing. But the mind is like a muscle. And if you don't exercise the mind, it won't grow. So if you don't pose high calibrated questions to your mind, clearly your mind is not going to be in a state to answer high calibrated questions when you do pose them. So the more you pose high calibrated questions to your mind, is the more the mind can respond. Yeah? So the mind responds to you as much as how you nurture it. And interestingly, nurturing the mind really means to train it, because that is what it was designed for. It's a tool. It's the most powerful tool that we have been given. So we must learn to ask questions that reflect the highest possibility for the life that we want to live. Now think about it. We have a mind, and some people created the internet. Yeah, they use a mind. So just like how you would use, say, for example, Google search on your computer. It's the same way how if you ask any question of the universe, it will respond. But you just have to be silent enough to hear. Yeah? You have to be silent enough to hear. The universe will always provide you with an answer. Because the truth is, there's no question that you can ask that don't have an answer. And not because you don't have the answer don't mean that the answer don't exist. Just don't know the answer yet. So for me, the most important thing that we can do is really ask high calibrated questions. And you might be wondering, so what I'm talking about? What do I mean by high calibrated questions? Well, for me, as an example I could give you, you could ask a question like, or let's say you ask this question. Well, I don't know how am I going to pay my bills this month. That's a low level question. A higher level question could be, how can I bring in more money this month than I have done all year to date? That's a higher calibrated question. It's like, how am I going to get out of debt? It's a low calibrated question versus how can I become abundantly wealthy? That's a higher calibrated question. So remember, the universe will provide you with the answers that you seek only if you listen. But the more you ask, the more you're likely to hear. And you can't hear if you don't ask. So we also know that, as I mentioned, that if there is no question that you can ask, that there is not an answer. It means that you should just be patient if you don't get the answer when you ask. Because if you think about it, there are only so many answers you can get from the internet for any question you ask. But what I said before about there is no question that you can ask that don't have an answer, it's really saying that you go to the internet to only get some answers, but you go to the infinite to get all answers. And the infinite really is God, supreme being, source, whoever you consider your creator to be. You can get all answers. You just have to ask. So my message really is that you must learn to formulate powerful questions. And when you do that, you're actually putting your mind in a state of discipline, in a state of training, and it will help to accelerate you towards your dream, whatever that dream is. So think about your own life. Ask yourself this most powerful question. For me, this is the most powerful question you could ask yourself. Where you are right now is where you are right now. But life is about evolving. You're not a tree. You're not planted. So you're going to move. And you will have aspirations and you will have dreams. And this most powerful question that you could ask yourself, what would you love? If you could change your life to whatever it looks like, the question is, what would you love? And the truth is, the more you ask that question, the more the answer could become revealed to you. Some people don't know how to answer that question. That's the truth. 90% of people can't answer that question because they're just going along, they're living what we call a mundane life, a default life. Them just going with it, day in, day out. Them just work with the program. But you can decide, yes? Remember the power of decision. You can decide the life you want to live. You can decide how you would love to live. And all it starts by just asking yourself, what would you love? If you have never thought about that, think about it now. Because answering that question could perhaps be the best solution you have given yourself in the interest of your growth until today. So that's the second powerful way to train your mind. The third powerful way to train your mind is what I call the power of alignment. Well, thinking about what I just said, in that we are not trees. So we are born into this world, we're at this place, but we have aspirations and we want to go somewhere. So we have a vision. Now, if you have a vision somewhere out there and you don't keep in alignment with your vision, probably you will never reach there. So that's how the power of alignment comes in. You're driving a car And if one wheel is turned that way and one turned that way and the next turned that way, probably the car not going to go where you want it to go because all the wheels go in different places. So you must be aligned with your purpose and your vision. And that's the key to manifesting a dream. That's how you train your mind. So it's like you plant some seeds in the ground. And when you plant those seeds in the ground, you have various thoughts. And the thoughts could include, birds might come and eat those seeds, or water could come and wash away those seeds. Why are you having those thoughts? They're not in alignment with the very thing that you decided upon and did. So I plant a seed. I'm imagining the tree. In fact, I imagined the tree long before I plant the seed. Yeah, I'm kind of like that. Because it starts in your mind. And this is how you train your mind. Because sometimes what we do, we derail our own success along a journey. Yeah? We're traveling along and we just take a derail for whatever reason. And when we do derail, we derail because we derail first in thought. So you start to doubt yourself. So the actions going to just follow through, the feelings follow through, the results going to follow through. So for me, the power of alignment is absolutely important, especially in light of the fact that you are always going to be challenged by some circumstances. Absolutely. None of us is spared. So we're always going to be challenged with circumstances. So the best thing we can do is know how to manage these circumstances when they arise. And they will. And guess what? How do you manage these circumstances? It's by this, what I call the power of alignment, 5-step thinking process. Now, how do you do that? Well, it's about thinking beyond the circumstances. And the first thing you want to do in that 5-step process is to realize who you are. I mentioned earlier about this universe being infinite. We did not create it. I did not create myself. You did not create yourself. God created you. Or a supreme being created you. Whoever you want to consider that being to be. Our spirit. But the truth is, you have to realize that there is only one presence. There is only one power. There is only one life. And the truth is, if you bring your mind to that and lift your awareness to that realization and be one with that and realize that it's really one creation, you probably just easy and not worry yourself about the circumstances, because circumstances are only temporary, Everything will happen temporary. Whether it's going to be for a minute, a second, a day, or an hour, or just a year, whatever it is, it's just temporary. And the second step you want to take is to recognize who you are. Remember, you realize first that you did not create yourself. So if you did not create yourself, you can align with your creator, recognizing, as I mentioned, that there is one presence, one power, one life. And you're a part of that. Recognize that you're a part of that. And if you're a part of that, it means that you have some of that power that you're a part of. Recognize that you're a spiritual being, really just having a human experience. Yes, all this is just flesh, but you're really a spirit. And you are connected, no less than anybody else, to that infinite mind that has answers to every possible question that you could ask. So once you know this, and you begin to recognize this, you will experience what we're talking about when we talk about realization and recognition. Now, the third step in training your mind as it relates to keeping aligned with your vision is to discern. You have to be able to discern. Now, we speak about this power within the universe that is way bigger than anything that you are faced with. And all that it is saying that is that the truth is that there is a power within you that can make you overcome any circumstance within your life. Because the truth is nothing outside you is greater than anything inside you. So again, the power of question. So all you need for this is just ask the question, knowing that there is an answer. Know that for every problem, there is a solution. So if there is a problem, there must be a solution. It's just that you don't know it. But you have to be able to discern it. And then the fourth thing you want to do in keeping with your vision alignment is to free yourself by letting go of your struggle. Like I said, there are many people who just literally tie down themselves. There's this picture that I'm imagining. They tie this horse, right? And every day they would just tie this horse on a tree. And then one day, instead of tying the horse on a tree, they just wrap it around a chair. But the horse got so trained into believing that he's tied on a tree, that although it was a chair, the horse was just standing there. And sometimes, you know, we behave like that animal. Our minds are so in a state of a struggle because we're not freeing ourselves of the very struggle that we're having. Whatever that looks like. You doubt yourself. It's not working out. You feel to give up. Just free yourself and let go of that struggle. Set your mind on the things that you believe that you want to work out. Pretend that it's working out. Vision it as if it's working out. Hold on to thoughts that it's working out rather than not working out. And you maintain that vibration. And that in of itself will help you train your mind to see circumstances as just temporary. See circumstances as just transitional. And as such, you can keep within your alignment with your vision. And the last step in this vision alignment step is to give thanks. And what I mean by that is be grateful for whatever you desire. And be grateful in such a way as if you get it already. Me stay so. Many people stay so. But many people don't understand that actually works. So I am giving thanks for something that I don't have yet. Now behave like I have it. Because remember, if you say you want to achieve something, behave like you really want to achieve it, no? Take it even further and behave like you even have it already. Because the truth is, gratitude is a feeling tone for greatness. It's like when you give thanks, it's easy for you to welcome the thing that comes into you. And you get more of it. Right? So when you let go and just be able to give thanks, you're also opening up yourself for more solutions. You're training your mind. And your mind is just feeding you more of the very thing that you offer in it. Right? So those for me would be the 5 steps to reorienting your thinking process if you are so challenged with remaining aligned with your vision. All right? Now, we're almost at the end of the call. You know, these sessions are very short and we'll just make some key points and move on. I always want to encourage you to follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. It's Winroy Williams. Follow me on LinkedIn, Winroy Williams again, Twitter, Winroy Williams, all of that. If you like this video, share it. Comment. Share it with anybody you believe would be of, immense gratitude for receiving this. Let's call it paying forward. As usual, I encourage you to visit my website. There's a gift there that I have for you, which is really an ebook. 50 powerful quotes for motivating you. You see, motivation is something that come and go, So if you can have another avenue to keep yourself motivated, that's a good thing. Now, I have done that for you. I've done a little book. Go to my page. Go to my website. Put in your name, the email address, and the book will come straight to you. Or if it is that you thought that what I shared with you is of some benefit, you can email me if you would want to get deeper with what I'm talking about. If you're interested in coaching, I have several programs that I could offer you. You could be a dream builder. If you want to accelerate your results, I can help you. Whatever those results look like, I can be your coach. And I can help you step into the highest version of who you are. All right? So this week, what we did was to just dive deep into 3 ways how we can train our minds. And why is it important to train our minds? Because it's a tool that we have to use and get everything else that we desire in life. And those 3 ways were the power of decision. You have to decide, cut away what you don't want in order to get what you want. You have to have the power of question, to ask high calibrated questions. And most importantly, you must be aligned with what you say you're doing. You can't say you're going north and you end up going south because you're not aligned. So I'd love to say to you that I want to thank you for joining me. Share this video, comment. Look forward to another session like this next week. I'll keep it going every week. And I'd love to say that until next week, I want you to take care and keep your mind sharp. Remember, it works best when it's kept sharp. So until next week, I am Winroy Williams, your life mastery coach and dream builder. Take care.